A lot of people, when they come into Collective Genius, are looking to scale. Scale can mean a lot of different things to different people. Most often that means leadership. How do they replace themselves potentially in the day-to-day business? I've seen a lot of times our vision of what scaling looks like and how quickly we can get there can sometimes be skewed. One of the things I see is generally with social media, we see these people that have extraordinary businesses and they're making millions and millions of dollars, and it appears that it virtually happened overnight. I think the one thing that's really great about Collective Genius is how vulnerable and transparent the culture is here. And people literally tell you, I've been working at this business for 3, 5, 10, 15 years. I've personally been through 2 or 3 different cycles of turnover within my business before I was able to, A, become the leader that my company needed, and B, was able to identify the right fit for the people to lead the company in my absence. When people don't identify the right people in the right seat in their business and start to evolve for themselves as a better leader, this almost always has an impact on revenue and profit. I think we all know, particularly as entrepreneurs, that when things at home aren't well, they carry over to the office. And when things at the office aren't what we want them to be, it has a tendency to carry over back to home. I've been able to help a lot of people just kind of navigate through what my experience has been in building my business over the last 15 years. The mistakes that I made, the success stories that I have, and then sort of help them navigate through that process. I feel that I'm qualified to help fix those problems because I faced a lot of those same issues myself. In the 16 years that I've been in business, I started as a one-man show. I hired 2 people. I replaced those 2 people. I did that 5 or 6 times until I found the right fit for those positions in my company. When I made the decision that we wanted to scale, I recognized that I needed to level up as a leader to be able to raise the ceiling for the entire organization. So I'm able to not only share my own personal experiences, but the other experiences throughout the group that people have shared with me, the successes that they've had, and how they went through that step by step. Being a member of the leadership team and here at CG, one of the things that we focus on is connection and also community. So when I spend 3 days here with the 200 plus members that we have that attend our events, I really focus on pouring into those people, getting to understand what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, how I can help them level up in their weaknesses and get them connected with the right people that are gonna help them achieve that next level and improve in those areas that they're looking to improve and develop in, and then just really tap in to the things that they do great. Everybody in this organization is operating at a high level. They've achieved levels of success that most of us would be extremely, extremely envious of. So what we really do is focus on taking those strengths of those people, getting connected with the people that need that right now from the other members in the group, and just getting those people connected. So I think the results that we generally see is just better leaders, better fathers, better mothers, better wives, better husbands. When you're really able to get the tools and the resources that you need to scale a business. And again, I think the one thing that we all have our different definition of scale. Some people want to scale to do 3,000 deals, or they want to make $10 million. For other people in the organization, scale simply means to run a simple business, right? With maybe a handful of employees, but do it efficiently and very profitably without them having to have their finger on the pulse of the organization at each and every moment of each and every day. And it's just awesome to see the development of those people. I think a big win for us is when people come into the organization and we see them 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, or 5 years later, to just see how far they've evolved and how far they've developed. And they come into the organization maybe looking for so much help with so many things. And in 2 years, they become the resource that's able to give back to the people in the organization and give back those same 10, 15, 20 different things they needed help with. They then become the expert. There's a member here, he's become a very good friend of mine, a gentleman by the name of Jim Zaspel. And Jim and I met about 4 years ago in San Diego, one of my first, maybe my first ever Collective Genius event. And at that time, I was doing Novations. And Novations 4 years ago was real estate's best kept secret. And he was just kind of talking to me and trying to get a handle on how he may be able to expand his dispositions and sales methods. And we sat down, we talked about Novations. I had been doing them since 2010 and had done over 1,000 of those transactions. So I spent several hours with Jim and his team, and we're able to share with him how we were using innovations in our business to increase our overall revenue by over 30%. So I shared that methodology with him, helped train his staff and really wrap their head around how it worked and how they could implement it into their business. Now he literally texts me 3 to 4 times a year, just say, hey man, I wanted to thank you for teaching me novations. It literally accounts for over 25% of our business today. Recently, with my experience, I've been a EOS and Empire operating system certified implementer. And I met with 2 members, actually 3 members at 2 different companies, Andrew Newland and Jeff Neininger and Kevin Hansen. Sat down with them, did a quarterly review, was able to sit down with their team, talk about the previous quarter's wins, and we really celebrated that. We went back and said, hey, what were the things we did a great job of last quarter? And we put a lot of celebration around that. We want to continue that momentum. And we talked about the things that previous quarter that maybe we fell a little short of our goal. We had identified what we could do better this next 3 months to get us closer to that goal. And then we talked about what does the next year look like? What are the bigger priorities inside of the organization that's really going to help us move the needle forward for the next 12 months? So I've just been, extremely blessed to have the opportunity to help those folks implement an operating system, meet on a quarterly basis when the situation calls for it, and really help them dial in their priorities for that next quarter. So literally, if we talk about the innovations, for example, with the Jim Zaspel, I think he shared with me that strategy alone that I was able to share with him, and he's now implemented for roughly 2 to almost 3 years now. He's been doing it, nets him over $40,000 each and every month. So that one strategy that him and I were able to sit down, connect, collaborate on, and I was able to help him integrate into his business accounts for nearly $500,000 a year, pales in comparison to the membership cost of this mastermind. So if you're struggling with building a sales team, developing a culture inside of your organization of accountability, becoming a better leader, you can contact us. We'll set up a call. We'll spend a few minutes sitting down and talking through those specific challenges. If we think that we're a great fit to be able to help you with that, we'll invite you to come to the group. If not, no big deal. We're definitely looking for a relationship where we can add tremendous value to you as a real estate investor, and you would also be a very valuable asset to be able to contribute to the group. We want a win-win relationship.